Wah, good morning. Good morning. If you're wondering why I have a piece of bread on my head, it's because I have been practicing the consumption of gluten again. Actually, that's a lie. I'm just doing this to pretend so that nobody bothers me anymore about it. Anyways, I have an update video for you. While I eat in this silly restaurant called Rainforest Cafe, which I've never ever been to before. Look, there's a tiger in the distance. Say hi. Actually, there's two. You better be nice to the staff, otherwise these guys come alive and they eat you. They eat you whole. They start from your stomach and then they go for your heart. It's actually kind of cruel, but you know what? That's nature. Anyways, I have some updates I want to give to you. So first, update 1. Just because I'm starting to make my way to the end, faces past and all that jazz, the Temple of Time dungeon in Zelda Twilight Princess should have been finished by this point. I'm fairly certain that the update should go live around the time that that archive goes on my YouTube, so expect that. So I talked about this on stream, but I have about 2-ish weeks worth of footage left for me to fight through. I say that as if I've recorded it. I have not. This is just my prediction. It might take 3. But yeah, because I still have the City in the Sky, the Palace of Shadows, cleanup duty, and then I have the final dungeon. Who knows how long that's gonna take. It is still my first time after all. Anyways, enough of that. I have a couple other games I want to play before the year is out. I've only played 2 thus far since I debuted in May. Speaking of debut, my debut translation, one of them, Junk Ball, is about 2 months old by this point, or almost 2 months old. Junk Ball. I worked on it for about a year. It's about cashiers who try to sell junk nobody wants, and hilarity ensues. Please go read it if you have not already. There's that. Back to the games though, I do have a couple of games I want to play, like, what's that one game for the DS? I think it's called, what is it called? It's called Contact. It looks kind of Earthboundy in a way. I've always wanted to play it when I was young, and I tried to, but then I lost it because I had no money at the time. Being a poor kid in high school is terrifying stuff, really. I'm glad I have a job and my own finances and all that jazz. And a pretty sizable savings, but we'll get to that never. I want to play the silly game called Plucky Squire. It was something I'd heard about on YouTube once, and it looks really, really cute. I heard it's a little bit hand-holdy though, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I hope it's not too taxing on my computer. There's another game I want to play, but it's an RPG. I will save that for when it actually gets streamed, because it's a bit of a long time coming. Very cute game. Very cute RPG. But I hear it's an RPG, so it's gonna take a bit. But that can wait until after Zelda and Contact are done. My next song translation is, I'm kind of undecided over whether I'm going to release it this month or next month. If I release it this month, I'm kind of going to have to, like, lock in, which I can totally do. But if I do it next month, it gives me this entire, it gives me the entirety of this month to work on another translation I am doing. Before I talk about that, the song translation in question is called Cypher, which is a song that was written for, I think her name is Hana, I think it's Kana Hanazawa is her name. She's a friend of Shizuku from Polka Dot Stingray, so they wrote a song for her, but then they did a self-cover, so that's the one that I'm covering, or that I'm translating. I have a translation, but I need to work on the assets and then the melody matching of that video. So there's that. I was supposed to work on this a long time ago, but I got distracted by a last second thing that I wanted to translate at the very beginning of June. Like, we're talking the first day of June, maybe the second. Hold on, let me check the map, or the calendar. Oh. Sunday. Oh no, it was the end of May that it actually happened. Crazy how that works. Oop. Oh, sorry. I don't know where I am now. Here I am. Okay, so let's talk about that translation that I'm currently working on. Not Cypher, but the other one. I think it's probably fair if I call this an in-between big translation. We'll call it that. Sorry, I was trying to find the right words, but they never come to me because I'm all tongue-tied. Anyways. So, let's talk about it. It's called Project Dimension. It is a 30-page comic that was released in approximately 2022 for a certain game I was playing. Who is this character? Well, it's an indie game that I'll divulge more on as the days come. I'm actually on the second to last step, which is the text insertion. I already did all the translation and the second drafting and the airbrushing, kind of. Don't worry about it. I hope it looks good. I learned a lot from Junk Ball, sort of, but I was trying to get it done by August 12th because that's when the Yoasobi concert takes place, and I want to go to that because I already have tickets. But I might be done earlier, to be honest. It depends on how long it takes me to do the sound effects insertion, because I'm doing text insertion and sound effects insertion. I'm doing those separately this time instead of all at once, after what happened with some of the pages in Junk Mall. Anyways, regarding that, despite the fact that I might finish early, I do want to shoot for a September 20th release because I do have a small reflection video, probably no more than 10 minutes honestly, that I want to work on by the end of summer. And then, after summer ends, and starting October 1st, I begin my next big translation, like the real one, like the sequel to Junk Mall. Not like the actual sequel, but more like the next step in my translation attempting journey. I call it Project Princess. I'm gonna keep details on the hush-hush about that for now, but expect news by May 10th of next year. So I have something to talk about. Which means I'm gonna have to work really hard to get to that point. So you'll hear me talk about Project Princess here and there. Just don't mind me. Don't mind me. All will be revealed shortly. Anyways, I think I've rambled on for way too long, so I'm gonna enjoy my meal right here while Mr. Tiger watches me, glaring, wondering, are you going to be the next victim? I will not. You wouldn't enjoy me anyways, Mr. Tiger. I'm made of metal and magic. You can have this bread piece, though. Looks good, doesn't it? You like bread, or are you strictly a carnivore? These are questions I will probably never know the answers to.